Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you are all well and safe and having a great day. I'm having a great day. I've been messing around with Affinity Designer and Artrage. What I've done, I've created some mandalas in Affinity Designer, exported those, and then used them with as stencils in Artrage to create this effect of this. I don't know if you can see it in the video. You can, of this stencil effect that's been added to this painting that I did a while ago. I'll put a link in the description for the original watercolor painting, well, digital watercolor painting I did a few years ago. But anyway, stencils in Artrage and mandalas in Affinity Designer. Let's get straight into it. So what I want to do today is open up an old painting I did a long time ago. And this is one of Charlotte, that's Killy's mummy. And this was pre-Killy, I believe. Digital watercolor I did about maybe 4 years ago. It's on the channel somewhere. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see how I did that. I think it's probably a Procreate watercolor, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure, but I thought it's a bit trendy now, I think, to use stencils in artwork. So I thought, okay, let's get some stencils on the go. So I open up my stencils folder, and you can see I have created a folder called Mandala, and I've got lots of mandalas, different mandalas that I've made. I'll show you how I've made them later on in the video, but for now, let's do the painting bit, because that's the bit that I'm really excited about. So I can choose a mandala. I've got lots of different sorts here. Some of them are a little bit more, let's pull them across, a bit more modern, with sort of geometric shapes. Just delete that one. I don't want to use that one. So I don't want to hide it. I want to remove that stencil. Some of them are softer. I think I did one with a watercolor brush. That could well be it. They're all different styles and using different techniques to make them, so they're all very, very different. And I'm going to give these all away. I am going to show you how to make them, but I make them in Affinity Designer. Now you might not have that app, so I thought I would give all of the mandalas away if you want to have a little play around with them. So to resize this, I believe I hold the control key down, and I can resize it by dragging the mouse. There we go. I can hold the is it the control key? Which key is it? Alt key. I can rotate it, although I don't really need to rotate this one, I guess. I can use the space bar. So it's just pretty much the similar sort of controls that you would use on everything else. I think I'm going to start maybe. This is an old painting because Charlotte has got tattoos all up this arm now. Very tastefully done, though, I have to say. Not dodgy. You position this where you want it. May have it a bit big, actually. Let's just take it down in size a little bit. I've not done a lot of research into this, so other than the fact that I've seen people using stencils in their artwork, so I don't really want it on a face. Let's put it there, and I'm going to use, that'll do. I'm going to use actually I'm thinking aspect ratio, rule of thirds, golden mean and all of that at the minute. So I am going to move it slightly. Just wonder if I ought to make it bigger. I didn't think this bit was going to be so hard. Kind of there, I reckon. Yeah, that's it. That's cool. And then I can start picking colours. So I think it's the Alt key to choose a colour. I want to create a new layer as well. Just shut this stencil down for a second and just start painting. So I've picked up, I'm still using the what's it brush, the smudge brush. So let's go back to that watercolor. I got the unclean brush. Yeah, let's use that one. And it's a bit difficult to see. I've painted. So if you want to see how you're doing, you hold the Control key and press H, and it will hide your stencil. And Control and S will bring the stencil back again. Kind of want a little bit on the cup there. Definitely don't want it on a face, I don't think. Sort of get these colours in. And I can change the colours as well. So I can pick this colour, this sort of maroon colour. I'll pop that in. I can pick the green up, put some of that in. So basically this stencil, it's not just like one you would buy off the shelf that would just have sort of a solid it would oh, I moved it. I meant to move the resize the canvas. That's looking pretty good actually. You can see these lights and darks, so it's like a bit more like an alpha layer where it's sort of semi-transparent, so you can get more paint in certain areas and less paint in others. So you couldn't do that in real life with a real stencil. That's cool. Go back to that palette knife. I've noticed I've got a little bit on the face there. Just soften that away. It should have defaulted to the Arch Chaos brush. Yeah, that's cool. I can have a quick look again. Control H. I've missed a bit there. Look, Control S. So I can go back to my paintbrush, put that in. I think maybe I've overdone it a little bit. Let's bring that back. And the other thing is, of course, this is a solid layer. So let's do the Control H again. So if I zoom in, the colour will be kind of, because I'm using watercolour, it does show the other colour through, but we can mess about with blend modes and see what that can do. Just gonna oops, didn't mean to do that. I meant to just use the palette knife. Gently just soften. I felt that needed a little bit of softening. A little less application. Just lose some of these hard edges. Yeah, that's better. I was going to look at blending modes, wasn't I? I got distracted. Sorry. Let's look at the blending mode. So we come down onto the layer and there's this little icon bottom right. Click on that. Look for blend modes. And this is really frustrating because most apps you've got the blend mode on the top of the layer and you can just toggle through them all very quickly. This is really, I found it's really frustrating. But let's just try the watercolor layer. What does that do? Just adds a very subtle difference, kind of mutes the colours a bit too much. So now I've got to go back here again, click on that, click on that. So with 3 clicks for every time I want to try a different blend mode. That's dissolve, which kind of gives a grainy effect, which is quite nice, I suppose. Let's try another one. 1, 2. I'm going to go straight. Yeah, let's try darken. And that sort of use the colours even more. That's not too bad, actually. Let's just try a lighten one. We'll choose screen, I think. Mode screen. And that's obviously way too light, isn't it? I do quite like the multiply one. I don't know now. Let's go back. Let's go back. What's the other option? Oh, got a tint. I don't like that. Doesn't seem to do anything at all. Blend mode. Screen. Let's try lighten. No, that does nothing. You just sort of you lose it completely. Screen. Maybe it's the way I'm painting it. I should paint lighter colours over here. Let's go back to normal again. May just go with the normal, you know. We could also mess about with opacity. There's this little black circle. Just drag on that and change the opacity. A bit too much. Just get it exactly how you want. I'm going to use my palette knife just to lift that off the fingers a little bit. Colour burn. What does that do? Colour burn. I like. Now that's nice. I think I might go with that. Colour burn. I can bring the stencil back. Control S to show it again and keep working. So I can go back with my watercolor brush. Let's choose dark. No, that's a light color. Go back to this turquoise again. Not going to get turquoise, are we? You see, it's doing stuff, but I can't really see it. It's like that. Yeah, I think, you know what? I quite like that. Let's bring in another stencil. Let's try a different one. So I need to show them first. Delete this one because that's finished. I'm happy with that. And you want to remove it, otherwise it will, every time you show, you click on Control S to show the stencil, that will keep popping back up. So I'm going to create a new layer for my next stencil. I'm going to go to View, Stencils, or you can press Control Alt and S. Here they come. Let's pick a different one. Let's do, I quite like Mandala 21. Let's try this one. And make this bigger. Control key, drag it with your mouse, space bar, mouse, and you've got to be positioned over the stencil, obviously. I'm just thinking we could probably put that on our elbow. Is that going to be? Let's just try it there and see what we get. I'm going to use, just going to have to hide the stencil a bit just to pick the colour I want. Control S to show, Control H to hide. I'm going to paint a little bit in here. Control H, I just want to see what that looks like. Yeah, I quite like that. If you, I thought if you in it, you could keep painting, but look, you can't. It just oops, what am I doing? Control Z. That's it. There we are. I should save this, shouldn't I? No, you know what? No need. No real need. I've got the original painting. I'm going to take this right the way up here. I'm pick this green up, then I'm going to make it a bit more vibrant. Paint it a bit. And then I'm going to see what I want to take away after. Control H, let's hide it. Okay. Let's change the blend mode. What did I have on that one? I can't remember. I cannot remember. Let's have a quick look. Blend mode, is it going to tell me? Color burn, okay. Okay. Blend mode. Color burn. Let's try linear dodge just to start with. Oh, that's interesting and funky. I quite like that. Linear dodge. Let's bring the stencil back. And then I'm going to use the palette knife just to soften out in places. I need a bigger brush to make it softer edges. And I'm going to keep hiding it and bringing it back to see where I want to soften. Bring it back again, Control S. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I've never really anything like this before, but I'm quite lucky. I think I can now dispense with the stencil and just soften it. Like that. I think we're good. I think that's it. I'm just tapping the smudge brush or palette knife over that. So, new lease of life to a really old photo using mandalas. If I open up stencils again one more time, how did I have the patience to create 21 mandalas and get them all into Artrage? Well, I'm going to show you right now. But you do need Affinity Designer. If you haven't got Affinity Designer, then don't worry, because I'm going to package all these up for you, all these mandalas, and make them available for a free download. So you don't have to have Affinity Designer if you want to have a go at this. I've opened up Affinity Designer and I've clicked on New Documents, and that's taken me to Templates. And I've got a template called Mandala 7th Season Studio, because I didn't make this mandala. I've got a couple of these. One, I've got one called Kaleidoscope, which I've had for must be 6 years. Well, as long as Affinity Designer's been going, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years or something like that. And I downloaded that off a YouTuber many years ago, but I can't remember where I got it from. So I did a search, found a different one, and I like this one by Seventh Season Studios. So if you want to download this, or better still, if you want to have a go at making it yourself, you can pop over to this guy, Seventh Season Studios. He's got a similar amount of subscribers as me, so give him a like and say, "Hey up, Steve Elliott Centers," and you can watch this video, and he'll show you how to actually create the template and use it. But he uses it different to me, or I use it different to him, I should say. For my needs, I've come up with a different way of using it. So I'm going to open this template up now, and I will put a description down to his website for you, and I'm going to create that. And it opens up with this sort of 12-point star, or however many points there are. I don't know, I've not counted them. More than 12, aren't there? But I've tweaked this slightly. If I go to File and Document Setup, what I've done, I've changed the size to 3000 pixels, not 1500, because I wanted an higher resolution image. And also I went into colour and clicked on transparent background. And the reason I did that was I want to be able to export these as transparent PNGs. That way you can, if you haven't got Artrage and you want to have a go at this, you can import them into your Procreate or any painting app as a transparent PNG, and then just switch the alpha lock on, and you can do exactly the same thing with a slightly different technique, of course. If you want to see a video on how to do that, just give the video a like and put a comment in the description below. Not in the description, in the comments. Put a comment saying it'd be nice to see how you do this with alpha lock. But for now, let me show you how to make one of these mandalas, and it really is very, very easy. It's got 3 layers, so we come over to the layers, and I click on the one that says top, and these should all be locked actually. He said he'd lock them, but when I downloaded it and installed, they weren't locked, and it just stops you drawing on them. You don't want to draw on the background, you don't want to draw on this copy, you don't want to draw on the top either actually, so I'm going to lock that one. So I've locked all of those, and the only one that we need to draw on is original. And where it says draw here, you click on that, and it's a pixel layer. But I am not going to draw with pixels. I want to draw with the vector brush for a couple of reasons. One, I can get much smoother lines with the vectors, and I can scale this up to any size I want, and you're not going to lose any detail, which is really, really cool. So I've got my vector brush tool selected. Let's go to brushes and find a nice brush. Let's go to inks. Let's just take that one. If I start painting with this now, you get this really thick line. So that's no good. Let's just delete that layer. Go back to the pen. And what I need to do is go to controller and pressure. That way my pen controls the thickness of the lines. But look what happens. How cool is this? I can just draw a stroke, and it repeats itself in this pattern, and then I can add a little bit more to that, a bit more, better brush, And that's how easy it is to create a mandala. Just going to press Ctrl Z, undo those curved layers. If I just do a sweep right the way across the page, do something like that. You only really need to go halfway. Once you go past halfway, you start repeating yourself and it just gets darker and darker and darker. A bit of lag on that, look at that. But see what I mean? So really just sort of halfway, and you can change the thickness of your lines. I found that a really nice one was the engraving brushes. I took one of those and I bumped the brush size up a bit actually. Bit of pressure, and you can get some really funky, modern looking mandalas. There you go, and it's that simple. Or you can also choose these shapes here. So for example, I can choose a love art. I know we've got one here somewhere, I can't see it. Where's it gone? Say love art, just art really. It's right at the bottom, look. Choose the art. But I need to oh, I haven't got colour on, that's cool. We've got a stroke. Let's just draw one. And you can make a mandala. And you can rotate these by grabbing the handles, making them bigger. And create mandalas with shapes. So that's another way of using it. So a really cool, funky tool. When you're ready, we've got this background on, and you use that really. I'll just undo that one more time, just so you can see where the center is. If you want to start at the center, or you can start one of these points, or in the middle of the point. It just gives you a bit of a guideline of where to start really. Just do that. Cool. But once you're ready to export it, I'm going to go for a painty one, I think. Let's just do one more and then I will save that for you. We go to vector paint, brushes, and let's try a different one. Let's go to inks. What's this one like? It's quite nice, I quite like that. What about this top one? There we go. Don't like that last bit. It's better. Don't like that either. All that. All that. Does it need that extra bit? Don't know if it does. I'm going to leave it like that. I just like that. So, right, we need to switch off this background layer. So just toggle that off, the little tick at the bottom. So that's ready to export. But you need it as a JPEG. So we just go File, Export, JPEG, not PNG. You can't use the PNG for the stencils. If you try, basically what you get, it treats the transparent layer like the black layer, and you just get an empty stencil. Just you can't do anything with it. It's just like not having it there. So we'll click on export. I've already got my 21 JPEGs in. Just name this one 22. Save that. And then when we've done that, we can then import that into Artrage. So let's just pop back in Artrage, And to import this stencil, we just go to import. It opens up the window, and I should have a 22 JPEG. Here we are. There it is. Mandala 22 JPEG. Click on that and open it. And there we go. Right at the bottom, we've got Mandala 22, and I can drag that across. And if I want, so shut that down, I can paint a little mandala pattern up there like that. I haven't got paintbrush selected, always helps. Come on, Steve, get a grip. I've got the brush selected now, yeah. Colour. Why is it not painting? Oh, I know why. Because I changed the blend mode. Just use the softener. And Control H to add the stencil. I don't like it. I could, so I'm going to show the stencil again. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the eraser. Let's get rid of that. Show the stencil, Control S. Oh, that was the other one we was using. So what I mean about sort of popping open all the stencils. So, oops, I need to right click on this one, remove that stencil. I think what I need to do with this one, if I am going to use it, bring it a little bit more over there. Maybe just go with the green colour, not get so cocky. Oops. Still liking the go. Let's go right to the edge. Let's just show it. But I mean, show it again. Just choose the palette knife, soften off little bits. Yeah, there we go. Done. I may have overdone it a little bit, but you know what? That's it's all good fun, isn't it? Let's save this. And that is it. That's how to create mandalas. Hopefully I've given you everything you need. You can either get the JPEG images that I'm going to make available for you, or if you've got Affinity Designer, you can go to 7th, what was it called? I've forgotten. Let's have a quick look. 7th Season Studios. You can go there to grab that file, or you could watch the video and make it yourself, which would be cool. I really didn't have the patience to do it. I thought, you know, why reinvent the wheel? There's no need. The guy's already done it. I just want the features. So there you go. That is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, don't forget everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. Bye.